Hey, how you going?
Good, yourself?
Not bad now. I've had 2 fatty cakes. I feel alive. I feel like a human.
I think maybe we're just probably just standing.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't. This is making it like when we've done the last 2 games from here in the studio, made it feel a lot like a better idea. But you can't not do the final game in person, can you?
Me and Thomas are on the seats there. It wasn't too bad, but I think the angle was But
yeah.
Just glad the weather's like not.
Oh mate, I've got beanie, neck warmer, gloves, and then I drive from South Hobart to here, and it's bloody glorious.
Yeah.
Honestly. No, we did that Australia Cup game from standing to the left of the black thing, and that was worse. Yeah, because you'd then turn right and you couldn't see this corner.
Yeah.
So we're trying to, nationally televised game. We couldn't see that corner of the field. It made us look a bit dumb.
Well, from here, I can just see the flag.
Yeah, you can just see the flag.
Yeah.
Did you do the one here Friday night 2 weeks ago at night time?
2 weeks ago.
On a Friday night? No?
Maybe the Friday before that,
Yeah.
I did one.
Yeah.
Not 2 weeks because I was on holiday.
Okay. Maybe it was 3 weeks ago.
If it was 3 weeks ago, it might
Yeah.
be.
I'll tell you, we had no problem commentating from the studio seeing that corner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
like it was really good.
How well angled the
car is.
If it's near the fence, then it's very well. Otherwise, sometimes what I need to do is I just need to do like this tilt. A bit.
Yeah, a bit of tilt.
So for the women's game, it's pretty easy and straightforward. There aren't any corners.
No, of course. Yeah, it all stays between there and there. Yeah, stop away.
Are you happy to? How do you sort of structure it? Do you want to bring us in or?
Oh, I got enough content to talk about.
Yeah, so I'm happy to do a bit early stuff for sure. And
did the previous game finish on time?
I saw them finishing just as I was walking.
No, that's a good answer.
So
that means they might have actually finished on time.
Yeah, I think they have.
Very good.
And do you want to call 50-50 or do you want to do mostly play-by-play or?
I'm happy to play-by-play away to my heart's content.
Okay.
If needed, I don't mind.
Well, it doesn't really matter. Just whatever you prefer. I'm happy to do play-by-play too, or just colour. Or...
Andrew and I, for the last couple of games, we've done a minute each.
Okay.
That's what we usually do.
Yeah.
Because, I don't have a problem doing
Okay, we'll just
a minute each.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll just hand
But
it over
we
when
both
we
know
have.
what we're doing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm happy to run it. Whatever's preferable.
Like grandson. It's development.
Not bad.
Like in neglect mode.
Yeah, it's like someone's just gone with a sledgehammer and smashed up the stand for no reason.
It looks like those videos where there's an abandoned stadium where they've built the one next door, and it's like, here's what the old one looks like. There's no one's upkeeping it anymore, like before they've demolished it.
I sneakily found a little Google Drive a little while ago. On Twitter. And I have looked up all the previous champions, which would have been nice to have in the back pocket.
Well, Devonport are going 6 of the last 7.
Okay. They won the last 2, right?
Yeah.
2 in a row, yeah.
Yeah, they won 2 in a row, and then nice one.
Yeah, and that was like the fun day.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. What I was doing. I vaguely remember. Yeah. When I was coaching uni, it was just like championship only. Really was what I was. Well, yeah, but there is actually like one parallel from I think it was maybe 2019 where we had a one-day game against Hobart United and lost. In the championship.
What was the game that Uni played? It was at Warrior Park. It was like the last game of the year.
Oh, that was like a victory league.
No. This is like 2019, 2021. And Uni played Victoria Park.
Oh, we lost that as well.
Lost that.
Yeah, no, that was the story where we lost like.
Because I went
This one, and you have
from Jesse and a couple others who watched it. Had one of his main games rather than one of his super games. Because he only does one or the other.
He's a funny dude.
Material is the greatest. Like, I'll play League and he's like 10 and he just like what is and then that game is like
that's his personality too. It's just like I love the kid that's like good friends with him. Yeah, he's a bit like
and then he played a game here I think 17 or 18 when he commentated and he fucking kicked by on the ground like absolutely I remember sitting up there watching it.
I remember this was when we were and like it was back like maybe the final year of the Southern Premier League and Elliot made his debut and he was about 14 and it was at Eagles and this is when Eagles was really good and we were losing like 8 or 9 nil and after that Elliot gave the whole thing. This is when like Miles was playing and
and
like flexible and stuff like so funny. That's like right about that. Mike's are just in that little
bag
now.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
Excellent. We love the wins. We love the wins. What did I write? Yeah, I could be asked checking. State league. That's what could be asked.
I really just have done more stuff this year. Like, I feel like
by this stuff, I mean I read it. Because I was about to do it, and then because I went to do it at 11 o'clock on Friday, and I realised that work harder, not harder. I think that's a good indication we should put them on. If they're ending up on the ground. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? This is ridiculous, guys. What are we going to do?
as long as it's rain, I'll be happy.
Hello. Mic testing.
Like, the car park will work. I can't play down the street. No one left us. So, yeah, car park is
Hello.
Figure it out up again. Yeah, I think that's the same. I'm not worried about getting weird, especially when I feel like it's getting more moves. But I asked you questions. Yeah. So, someone's glued on last game as well. Yeah, what's the score down there? 1-0. Better idea than doing that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've done that risk before. There's a few women's statewide cup finals.
Oh, can you check your mic?
Yep. Testing 1, 2. Ball.
It's not on.
Not on.
Oh, the other one.
Testing 1, 2. Ball speaking now. Ball on the commentary. Slip it back in.
Nice pop, mate.
Back on.
Test, test, test. Hello. Hello and welcome to... Hello.
Okay.
There we go. Just got to hold it longer.
Testing 1, 2. There we go. Brilliant. Only the ears left with any attendance. At least there's no game on at Glenorchy by the sounds of it, at the footy oval.
Like it.
Can't hear anyone.
I think it's like kind of finals week, and I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
not-
paying attention to SFL, but I feel like Glenorchy haven't been good in a while.
Well, no, they haven't, but I did see North Hobart busy when I was driving over.
Oh, yeah, they have all the finals anyway, don't they?
Normally.
Just for...
Got that right the first time. Alright,
Did you mess you up?
let's go 10-minute timer on the phone and then I'll be with you. Ready?
Yeah, I am now.
Good afternoon and welcome to KG5 Football Park for the NPL Tasmania 2024 title decider. My name is Paul Hunt, soon to be joined by Alex Murray when he gets his microphone working correctly. You do have a minute if you want to fix that. Alex, as we look at the teams walking out to the centre circle to parade in front of us here on the new camera side of KG5 Football Park. As you can see, the grandstand still undergoing renovations. We're down on the sideline here to both commentate and soak up all the atmosphere as we look at the players coming out in front of us. I'll welcome you now, Alex. Alex, what are you expecting here this afternoon?
Oh, it all comes down to this, doesn't it, Paul? Just a fantastic end to what's been a thrilling NPL Tasmania season. Really don't know what to expect from the game. Glenorchy with the upper hand through the results of this season. But Devonport have hit form at the right time. A few interesting inclusions at the sort of the mid-season transfer window. And since then, they haven't really looked back. So anyone's game, and yeah, I guess we should clarify that it is almost a winner-takes-all contest. Obviously, Knights with the upper hand, they only need a draw, but sometimes that can be a little bit of a, say, drawback. I know Tom Ballantyne through the week has been saying it's a bit of a free hit for Devonport. They can just attack. They've got nothing to lose in this one. It's all the pressure's on Knights, at least that's what he says. It's a massive game.
I do tend to agree with Tom. They've got certainly the far less pressure on it. They know they just need to score more goals than Glenorchy, and if it gets tight, and if it's 0-0, 1-1, 2-2 with 5 minutes to go, I reckon the pressure's going to be really on the Knights as we look out there. Brent Copra in the middle, big time referee for a big time game, and we'll quickly roll through the Glenorchy Knights lineup pretty much as normal here. Angus Burden in goal, Matt Burkic, Jack Glover, Tyler Harrison and Connor Schmidt will be in defence, and their front six will be Riley Dillon, Nick Mearns, Josh Redfern, Steph Cordwell, Thomas Walpole and Josh Corderuccio. And for the strikers, Mitch Higgins in goal. One of those mid-season transfers you mentioned before, Alex. Toby Barton, Cody Sturziger, who's established himself in the starting lineup for the senior team. Fahim Maradi, Brody Dennehy, Mulraney, Matthew Benjamin, Charles Bidwell, Riku Ichimura, another mid-season transfer, and Juan Capellino. They brought him back over. Obviously, he was at the Zebras last year. They brought him for games like this, and Taylor Last also in the starting lineup. Should be a fantastic game here in very changeable weather conditions at KG5. It was pouring down on the way here, sunny in the setup, and it's just got windy again. And Copra giving the ball to Juan Capellino. We're nearly ready to go. The wind, so it's heading right to left as you look at it on your screen as we are underway here at KG5. Brody Dennehy getting an early touch of the ball.
really enjoy the play to be on this ground near side as much as humanly possible. Apologise in advance for not being able to see over there with these renovations. We are at ground level, which from previous experience in the Olympia-Apia FFA Cup game many years ago, not the best place to watch, but Devonport with good possession to start with, Alex.
Yeah, they've just started well. I'm really intrigued to see how they line up defensively. They've been toying with a bit of a back three and wing backs last couple of weeks as Ichimura goes forward. Good pace shown and a little low cross in. He gets it back and stands it up this time. Burden with the palm away. Challenge by Walpole. And a little threatening there from Devonport, starting with a lot of intent.
Yeah, certainly are. Most of the Devonport fans in attendance today are gathered on that far side, on the side they're attacking as well. Glenorchy fans behind the goal as well. Both sets of fans separated purely by the clubhouse here at KG5 with the works going on. Good contingent of Devonport fans have travelled down. Obviously the Super League played earlier on before this. Mulroney, the captain, swings one out. Touch not quite happening from Benjamin. Walpole thought he was clipped. Keeping it in play. Barati getting the crossing early, and you can see that wind and Capolino there, but rising high for a good first take is Angus Burden.
That's a really good take from Burden. I think if any weakness he's had, it's his first NPL season. It's been that high ball at times. And that must be a massive confidence boost for the young Knights keeper.
Yeah, those first 5 or 6 games earlier on in the season, we did say that was weak, but really since that Lac-Seljet Cup game, we really come on strong in that department. I thought held up well in that Northwest Spirit game in the Australia Cup round of 32 in Sydney as well, away from home. A big test for any young player, as there's plenty of space on this side for Nancy Benjamin. Like to go towards Ichimura. Now Dennehy, his front four. Quite mobile here for the strikers as Dennehy gets the cross in. Well cleared by Harrison. There's plenty of Bronx cheers from the Knights faithful towards Brenton Copra. Drop ball. A nice oddity to start the day.
Yeah, just on that back three, Devonport looking like they're lining up in that back three. So Sturzaker in the last couple of weeks, under 21 player for most of this season, he's coming in to play that left centre back role. Dom Smith not there, so Toby Barton switching over to the other side. And then Ichimura and Murati sort of playing as kind of wing backs, with Ichimura being a bit more of a threat and can switch into a bit of a back four. So very flexible from Tom Ballantyne. And we'll see how Knights respond. I think it's a really good little, test that he's thrown across the chessboard to James Sherman. I mean, we haven't mentioned his last game yet as well, so we'll see how he negotiates that throughout the game.
Yeah, Tom Ballantyne. Also one of his comments saying we know exactly how the Knights are going to play. They don't change. Almost, I couldn't tell if he was being complimentary or not complimentary there when he was saying that comment on Friday.
He does do that sometimes. Like to be very direct and just say, this is what's happening, this is how they play. And yeah, sometimes I'm not sure whether it's a bit of a backhanded compliment or not.
Very reminiscent of Liverpool manager Arne Slott's complete takedown of Eric Ten Hag's tactics in the post-match after walloping Manchester United during the week. Just said, here's exactly how we did it, and just picked it apart as Burkic throws it in early. Well, that is out of play there from Steph Cordwell. Need a big performance from the two Knights imports here this afternoon. Redfern and Cordwell were a little disjointed for the first half of that game against South Hobart. I called with Andrew the other week. I need to make sure they're working a bit more telepathically today than they were on that particular night.
Yeah, I didn't think they looked amazing against Clarence. They sort of just did the job they had to. I know that was extenuating circumstances with the pitch at Wentworth was very, very muddy. So Murati does get fouled and makes his way through a little challenge from Matt Burkic.
Yeah, Wentworth Park in August, you just have to take the points and get away with it. I mean, at least they've done away with those 6:30 PM fixtures that they used to absolutely love at Wentworth Park at this time of year.
Howling wind. I mean, we've got a bit of breeze today, but yeah, you can imagine just on the beach there.
And at the Junction is Bidwell. Heavy touch. Just about gets it to Ichimura. Schmidt strong in the challenge. Big arm grab there on the defender, but played on this occasion outside of the boot from Cordwell towards Dillon, who will play it back. And when Tom Valentine was referring to this is how the Knights play, this is pretty much what they were referring to. Do like a patient build up at times before an incisive pass, and Glover's trying to find it at the moment but couldn't. Mearns towards Dylan in front of the new change room side.
Knights just starting to work their way into this game. Barely touched it in the first 5 minutes, and that's a good ball through from Mearns, or at least a good attempt. It's cut out by Sturzaker, and then Mearns will get it back. But here we go on the break for Ichimura. Gets through one, tries to go through another Glover challenge, and he'll just punt it forward. Devonport will bring it forward again.
Well, got two players in the box raising their hands, doesn't go to any of them, just passes it straight to a Knights player and then commits the foul. Not the best 5 seconds of work there from the second best Bidwell.
Didn't have the greatest game in that 4-0 loss, Charles Bidwell, and that's a bit stiff on him. He's had a great season all round, but Devonport a little bit undermanned in that contest as well. Can't really blame him too much. I think he was playing a little bit out of position, but he'll be a key man to keep them solid today and make sure the likes of Glover and Harrison can't play through this strikers midfield. They've clogged it up here at the moment. Glover doesn't really have a good option, so will go direct, and it's well out of play, and Redfern drifting out wide. Can't track that one down.
Won't be doing much with that in this gusty wind. It kind of fools you out here at the moment. It gets very still, and then potentially as soon as you're about to pass it, it just starts swirling around like mad. And we saw the curl going out on that occasion, as you can now see in the background. The Knights faithful getting behind their team. Drum and Vuvuzela. Drum a nice occurrence, so it's not just average sounding plastic horns. We like a bit of variety in that setup. Obviously in the Come Knights corner of KG5 Park is Dylan. Thought about the shot, looks to keep possession. And Redfern out towards Walpole. Can't get past the first defender. That'll be Knights ball. No, Devonport ball down in that corner.
As I said, Knights just starting to get a little bit more space. That was a lovely little turn from Riley Dillon. He's just drifting inside a bit more. There's no one out wide for them on the right-hand side. So I think that's also to do with the wind here. But
yeah.
That's one thing about the Knights, I would say, their front four is they can interchange positions very, very flexibly. The likes of Redfern drifts out wide a lot, Cordwell as well. Dylan fills in centrally. It's just been probably the feature of their play this season. That's why they've stuck 53 goals away, or close to it, in the league this season.
Yeah, we've seen the average goals per game drop a bit in the NPL Tasmania this season, but more drop towards the NPL average for the rest of Australia. We were a crazy high goal scoring league there for about 5 years in a row. As Capellino is onside, and pressuring Harrison. He's offside.
Just trying to listen into the AR there. Just from our perspective, maybe it was a follow-up of the play. But Knights will get another bite of the cherry here. Again, they're just settling on possession now a little bit more. And Glover, in particular, has had space to drive into. They're not pressing him very hard at all. And he'll play a nice ball into Cordwell. Might be the danger man for Knights. Obviously, scored that brilliant winner in the Cup semi. It's a good ball out wide for Dylan. He crosses in and straight into the awaiting arms of Mitch Higgins in the striker's goal. He sends it forward very directly. And that might find touch fairly comfortably.
Protecting the camera stand here is more likely where that big heave was going, as Higgins gets his first touch with his hands of the afternoon. Transfer across from the Zebras, their former keeper, Kalamata, going back to Victoria to play for Bentley Greens the rest of the season, as Walpole just about keeps that in, tries the Berbatov turn again, which he did with expertise the other week, but that one falling out of play.
I thought that was a fairly big call from the Devonport strikers, I guess, coaching brass, to make such a drastic change at mid-season. They obviously thought it wasn't working with Kalamata. Declan Zadadzny has stuck around and actually been a pretty good option for them off the bench. But the injection of Capellino and Higgins, I think, just has shored them up a little bit, as he bursting through the middle, almost getting through the offside trap of Knights there. And Knights will play through the middle here. It's a little bit too neat though, and Last plays it into Capolino. And he gets fouled very late. And people behind the goals are not happy with the foul at all.
There's a small pocket of Strikers fans that actually behind the goal now that I've had a look.
Yeah,
plenty of white jackets as well for the Knights members. There are about 6 to 7 out there, which is pretty bold.
Yeah, all stacked up just behind them. I think that's probably why the other Knights with the horns and the drums gone down the other side. Interestingly, Sturzaker over this one. Hits it flowing hard and blocked well away. The best delivery. Maybe Taylor Last should be over that one next time. Burkic, the great little header through. Oh, big slide from Murati. And Walpole was almost away there. A good covering back from the Knights fullback.
And plenty of Strikers got back and just prevented Knights from countering there. Murati not afraid to slide on the artificial surface. Obviously used to the more heavier ground of Valley Road as the foul's given on that occasion. And the Knights now have a set piece. Very different surface here to what the Strikers have been playing on recently. Valley Road returning to its... before it had enough money spent on it, days of just looking like an absolute bog. Still not quite as bad as Darcy Street was the other week, but there's been some interesting grounds over the league the last few weeks. Obviously plenty of floods and things in Tasmania as well.
It's been raining a lot.
As Riley Dillon sends this one in the Harrison direction, goes over his head towards Glover, who wants a penalty, more of a half-hearted appeal. One will go out for a goal kick, so just over 12 minutes gone and not too many chances for either side. You wouldn't expect too many in this first half. I imagine it's going to be fairly cagey. Obviously Strikers can win the lead with a 1-0 and Knights can win the lead with a 0-all.
Yeah, they've just been able to control the game a little bit more at the moment, Knights. It's been a lot harder work. Glover thinks he's got elbowed in the face there. Nothing called.
I reckon Copper will be having a chat with him after that too.
Knights will continue on with it though. Redfern tries to hit up Walpole. It does earn a corner, much to the delight of the Knights supporters behind the goal. Yeah, they've just adjusted well here, just being able to calm things down. And Strikers looking a little bit more disjointed in how they want to kind of get out of defence. They're looking for Capolino very early, and Glover's been dealing with him. It's been a very physical battle between the two, but that's slowed their attack down nicely.
Dillon for the short corner, swings that one in with the left boot. That's gone over the head of everyone. Battling away for it, and the Strikers getting the free kick, much to the chagrin of the Knights faithful behind that end of the goal.
There's that Glover Capolino little physical battle again. Glover this time have been adjudged to infringe.
If you want to have a defender to do a pretty good job on someone with the height and strength of Capolino, Jack Glover would be just about the best in the league at doing that. The only other person I'd want is probably Kieran Mulroney in the Strikers' back line would be the next one I want, as this time the free kick goes the Strikers' way, and not the most free-flowing start here at KG5 as it begins to spit.
Yeah, the intensity is good, but it's just the way that, I guess, since the intensity is so high, it's very hard to just play through these structures and the pressing of both teams. They're not pressing high, but they're pressing very intensely through the midfield and making it very difficult to play through. Sturzaker over this one again. See if he can't do a slightly better job. It's got more loft on it. Mulroney's in there, flicks it on and straight through to Burden. He'll just lean on it and collect it nice and cleanly. That's another nice take for the young Knights keeper. A little bit of indecision playing out, but does roll it to Jack Glover. The Knights will try and see if they can't pick a way through this clogged up Strikers midfield.
It's a good 40-20 there from Jack Glover. Keeping really getting the Strikers deep in their defensive area, and just with the way the wind's going, it's sort of going to hold up and then roll out of play on the surface over there. As you can see right now, that one staying up, and Capolino with a lovely flick as Bidwell wants to switch the field of play. Ichimura in a battle with Schmidt. Schmidt gets his head in the way. Strikers win the throw, but that head there from Schmidt just as crucial as Murati's slide tackle about 5 minutes ago and breaking up the play. And both defenders, or the defences of both sides, holding up well in crucial challenges at the moment as Capolino up against Harrison, flicks it to himself. Only has the one player inside the box, and he takes a complete swing at that one, and it goes out of play for a goal kick.
Pocket of Strikers supporters wanting a corner.
Yeah, not quite the full Valley Road elite setup here as if it was a Devonport home game, but plenty of noise being made by the travellers. Obviously, there'll be plenty of people up on the sunny northwest coast tuning in for this one as well, I imagine. Obviously, 3 other NPL Tasmania games on at the moment as well. South Hobart's game, obviously South Hobart via an absolute miracle could win the title, but I don't think that's a realistic proposition as Bidwell jinks past 3. Now Ichimura, Dennehy was in a good pocket of space, and Ichimura tries to do it himself and hits that one right into the car park, and has probably hit a Knights members car with that one.
Definitely want to have that one back, but I like the little jink inside. He's always dangerous cutting in on that right foot and shaping into just a little bit of space. I think Ichimura is going to have the kind of agility and pace advantage over Schmidt, so that's the sort of matchup that the Strikers will actually quite like to see, as much as the finish was sort of a Gaelic football finish, but that's okay. Early in the game, you don't mind those too much. And Strikers will try and put the pressure back on. That's a lovely piece of bodywork from Bidwell, but Cordwell will just do the same to him and play it out nice and wide to Riley Dillon. He's been a little bit isolated out there on the right-hand side. Obviously, the wind not favouring that side of the pitch. And Glover just collect and play into Burkic, and his ball had the right idea but never had the right spin on it, and just spin out of play. And you can see Knights are trying to sort of pick their way through that lower block of Devonport, and it's really not coming off just quite yet. That's a nice press from Cordwell, though.
To finish that point before South Hobart, whilst they could technically win it, they certainly won't be winning it, being 1-0 down to Launceston City at half-time in Ken Morton's last game. That one kicking off half hour earlier than this game, and still 0-0 over at Wentworth Park as the tackle from behind, Brendan Copper has pulled up.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a shame. I know a lot of South supporters sort of would made the journey down to Darcy Street to send Kenny off in his last game, and they'll be hoping that they can't turn that one around. But for City, I think they can still play for 4th position, so they'll be pushing as hard as they can. And nice deep position for this free kick for Riley Dillon. This ball is a decent one. It skids through onto Mulraney. Good jump from Burkic, gets down to the middle, followed up by Harrison, and skewed well over the bar, and I think
goal kick.
I was trying to say, who that came off last.
Oh, that was Brendan Copper's hand there from the angle we're at. Looked a little more penalty-ish than it actually probably was, to be honest. That's why we're a little confused over here, the way he was pointing his hand down.
Yeah. Just the roar from the Knights fans suggested they thought something was the play there, whether that was a corner or a half shout for a penalty, but nothing doing, says the referee. It's all negotiated by Bidwell. And he'll spread it back to the veteran Mulraney. Barton looking direct this time. It's a nice channel ball, but Burkic fields it well. Walpole and Murati will battle for the ball. And it's worked nicely through the Strikers' midfield. Oh, it's a little bit short, but Schmidt swings a bit of a karate kick at it. A bit of a fresh air swing, and Ichimura it's got a 2-on-1. Pokes it into the box, and no direction on it. We'll collect it again by Burden. These little switches out wide from the likes of Dennehy and Bidwell, they're the right sort of ball, but in that wind, they're just holding up a little bit, and they're making it hard for Ichimura to really run onto. Schmidt probably should have had that one well covered, and put probably Knights under a little bit of undue pressure, but they dealt with it well.
Whereas this time the ball goes down the line towards Burkic, and 2 strikers managed to work it out between them, and you're just talking about that wind. I reckon that impacted Angus Burton's decision not to play it to Thomas Walpole earlier on, as he was in a good pocket of space, and another Knights player hits the deck in the middle of the park. Now Ichimura trying to get past Schmidt, and it's a good kick save there from Burton, lining the volley up. It was Bidwell, and that one blocked by Corderuccio. And this time, as well as the corner, Jack Glover will be called towards Brenton Copprup. I thought that talking to was going to happen about 10 minutes ago, and this time it's finally happened.
Very theatrical.
Yeah, I do love the big assertive decision there from the referee, just to let both the crowd and the player know that's not on. Probably helps that one of the referee assessors was standing behind us when that was happening. As the corner comes in towards the near post, all cleared by Redfern. Benjamin. This time, can Mearns turn away from Moradi? He does get there in front. And the counter-attack could be on here for the Knights as Caldwell jinks past one. Can't get past, and on defending Toby Barton, charging back from up ahead. And the game starting to open up a smidge more here as we tick through the halfway mark of this first half. But as much as that happens, the Knights can keep doing this to their heart's content and forcing the strikers further up the field. Capolino certainly not applying the strongest of press in this situation so far, as Corderuccio caught after delivering the ball, and I expect Bidwell will be getting a no. I think that's his second foul already.
Yeah, I don't think the strikers will be really pushing desperately until the second half. I think they'll be happy just to sort of play their natural game in this first half and just see what they can't create kind of out of their game plan. I think interestingly, Miles Barnard's been on the team sheet for the last couple of weeks for them, and he did score last week. I mean, it was late in the game, but I just think as a bit of an option right late in the game, might have been not the worst player to have in your back pocket. They've gone with the Zadadzny option instead.
I was shocked he wasn't on the team sheet when I looked at it 20 minutes ago. Absolutely flummoxed by that. Big game player, came up for that big goal. We saw the best goal celebration in Australia after scoring that goal that had absolutely no impact on the game, but had a huge impact on Barnard and the Devonport faithful. And to not chuck him on the team sheet, I do not understand that. It is Tasmanian footballing royalty that who's performed in big games like this, also had his head clattered into a big games like this at this park, and yeah, real shock not to see the Fox in the box on Devonport's team sheet here this afternoon. And I don't believe he was injured. I think he played in the 21s earlier on.
I think I can see him sitting down over there.
He is over there on the far side of the bench. You are correct.
But yeah, interesting. They do have Payne and as I said before, Zadadzny. So two striking options and two big physical lads too. But just that experience, and we've done it over so many years, almost a decade across Southern Championship and NPL. Schmidt's running through now though. Little shape to shoot from Walpole and away by Benjamin.
And the FFA Cup as well.
Yes,
he
true.
Really likes pointing out to as many people as possible.
Yes.
Mearns just pulled out of that tackle in time. Again, the play slows down a smidge for the Knights.
I think they'll be happy with that. Just being able to take their time a little bit more, and it's been a feature of their play really has been Harrison and Glover. It's kind of their decision making out of the back. And Glover's going to drive all the way through here. Almost shot that himself. Redfern's drifted wide. Goes on his left foot. Bit of a skewing angle. It's cleared away. Dylan can't get it to sit, but does in the end. That's blocked. Caldwell and negotiate his way through. Shot for a foul, and he's given in the end.
Yeah, just waiting to see if the clearance was a good one in the Capolino direction there, Copra, but it was a bit skewed, so fought back for the free kick. But the temperature's certainly dropping as well here at KG5.
See that little bit of rain coming over the mountain. I'm a little bit antsy that I didn't bring enough rain protection, but there's the brakes accommodating on site.
Yeah, hopefully next year KG5's facilities back up, allowing some height and weather protection for those of us in the media department here.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different vibe. We're just commentating pre-game on. It's a pretty good crowd in, but it's sort of hard to know how many people are in, and sort of scattered all around the barrier here, with the stand in a state of disrepair at the moment.
Yes, we were admiring before how it looks like those kind of abandoned stadium videos. We're looking a bit of a need of TLC, and hopefully during the off-season it gets that we've been calling for here on Slice of Cheese for nearly a decade, for a renovation to that. As Capolino now thought about getting on the left peg. That is a dramatic swan dive from Juan Capolino, who's stayed on the ground despite being touched by a feather. There's Dylan.
That was all ball, and he's jumped well over the challenge there. I don't know if the referee's going to come back to book it, but definitely something to keep a watchful eye over. He's earned a fair few penalties since he's come back into this striker's outfit, and that one was, yeah,
we've been clearly watched the Socceroos Bahrain game with that performance there, did Juan Capolino, and got some tips from that particular game that we won't speak about any further here on commentary, as that one charged down and Dylan goes chasing for it in the bench. Strikers now building through Mulroney. He's had a huge amount of touches on the ball so far, the Devonport defenders, in situations like this, and that one's coming dangerously close to us here. Just about covered.
It's been a little bit wayward with these direct passes out from both sets of centre-backs. And that one, there's another example of that, just Redfern and Glover being on the wrong wavelength. Yeah, as I said before, it's been very, very difficult to play through the middle, and when teams have been able to get a pass or two through there, they've looked okay, but it's been so clogged when there's been controlled possession from either team, where I think both sides think, look, we're just going to play it a bit more direct and see if we can't fashion a little opportunity. Looks like Murati's going to do that again. This time Glover with a nice little nudge in the back to give himself a bit of space. And away by Harrison. Again, a nice big direct ball, and Barton with a saving header. He's made a few good little interventions at the back there. Looks like Devonport have sort of swapped back into a bit of a back four with Sturzaker now. It's a bit more of a traditional fullback. And Murati playing quite deep. And it's with Redfern drifting out wide, so just having to play slightly more defensively. And they'll sort of drift in and out of those shapes throughout the game.
Yeah, a few more people gathering on the behind the far end at the cricket nets, which we don't normally see. I usually perch myself there for a pre-season game just to enjoy the sunbaking that you get in February in Glenorchy. It's about the only month of the year you can do that, but
yeah, certainly not today.
Certainly won't be getting any of that today, as Higgins with the goal kick. Glover. Good work there from Walpole getting around Murati. Plays it out wide towards Dylan. Got one man to beat. Disraeli Dylan goes on the left peg and hits it just wide. You can tell by the reaction behind the goal that was not too far away at all. Mitch Higgins scrambling to get across to his right, and probably the best effort of the game so far.
Yeah, caught that one nicely, Riley Dillon. He's always a threat because he's just so two-footed. Probably one of the most two-footed players in the league, and cutting in off that flank and hitting with his left. Not quite enough curl on it. Got to trust that just hit that one with enough curl that was skewing away the outstretched arms of Higgins, and that's a bit of the first kind of real shot in the bow from Glenorchy Knights today.
Tell you what, for the rest of this half, I think the strikers need to get one Capolino to stand on halfway, not on Glover, if they want him to receive a goal kick. Higgins hit that with all his might, barely covered halfway, as Barton manages to win the free kick on that occasion.
Yeah.
Swirling wind and rain picks up here at KG5.
Basically blowing straight towards where we're sat in the commentary box, so...
Commentary boxes,
yeah.
A bolt valley?
Yes, the commentary outside. But yeah, it's causing a lot of havoc for teams out there, and definitely just favouring Knights just a little bit, if you can say that, with how strong it's getting at the moment. I think this just will play into that kind of direct football that we've been seeing over the last 10 minutes or so, and there's Higgins with a better ball, but again it just holds up, and Glover, nice late heading challenge.
I bet And honestly, it's another reason why I would have had Miles Barnard on the team sheet, unless he's got some form of debilitating injury. He knows how to play in these conditions. He's spent seasons at Olympia Grove and seasons at Valley Road.
Yeah.
It doesn't get more wild and windy in Tasmania than those particular grounds. As Bidwell lays it back to Mulroney.
Having played with Miles, I've always said he's one of the best aerial players in the state. Has been throughout his whole career. Headed goals, his speciality, and I think, yes, in conditions like this, as we just cop a bit of a spray in the face, would be a good option to have. Bidwell will try and put strikers on the scoreboard. And just recycle it to last. Capellino hits the deck. Dennehy just trying to turn and shoot directly. He sort of will shoot from any sort of angle, Brody Dennehy. He's got some crazy goals this year. It's one from a possible angle up at Valley Road this season. I think maybe 2 or 3 of those almost. So if he gets any space, he'll look to shoot. Blocked away well that time.
Certainly one from the right-hand side, I recall, on that particular occasion, as the corner seemed to come in from Taylor last. High lofted ball in the Capellino direction. Glover manages to get there, and so does Harrison to clear the danger. Eventually all the way back to Higgins, who got just enough on that one. Now Massey trying to jink past Tortoriccio, who's moved out towards the left-hand side from his central position. Now goes back to find that position next to Mearns. Certainly dropped a bit deeper as the season gone on, Tortoriccio, other than scoring that fantastic goal here 3 weeks ago, as that one's cut out by Harrison. Now Bidwell on possession for a while, allowed to turn and play forward. Ichimura looking for a runner. Gets the ball back to Ichimura. Thought about shooting. Crunching challenge there from Mearns. Gets it a third time, Ichimura. Goes the dink ball towards Capellino, and it falls off him again, and this time Burden stays strong. Capellino keeping his feet in there, awaiting a rebound, but good confident hands there from Angus Burden.
It's been impressive today so far. That one's probably the most challenging in terms of just the pressure on him. No saves to make yet, but just in terms of his collection, when he's need to have had safe hands, he's had them so far. So Knights been looking more and more short throughout this half, but strikers, that was a nice little period of play. I think the more they can get Bidwell on the ball in a bit of space, that's going to favour them. It's Dennehy. Sit out wide to Ichimura. Pokes it forward in that Bidwell direction. Takes on Tortoriccio. Nice ball up for Capellino. What a save by Burden. Falls to Burkic on the ground and away by Tortoriccio. That was a really nice header and a nice reflex save. We were just talking him up a minute ago, and Burden comes through big.
That is a fantastic save from Angus Burden. He might have to make another one soon here, as Ichimura manages to get another cross in, and Dennehy and Mearns battle it out. Walpole charging back Burkic. That was in the box. Well, this time it eventually falls out, but a fantastic kick save there from Burden. Stood strong, didn't commit too early, left that left leg out. Great save from the young keeper. Certainly, as we mentioned, has really come on strong this year, and frankly put himself in the shop window for a move to a better league, I'd say, given his performances in the last few weeks. There's Glover forward towards Burkic, under pressure, and that is a foul on this occasion. Sherman trying to get some instructions out towards his team.
Yeah, just a little bit worrying signs for the Knights coaching staff. As I said, strikers the last probably 5-10 minutes, and again the momentum swung back in their direction. It's been a pretty good game in terms of who's had more possession and territory. It's been really swinging like a pendulum so far, as Cordwell can't get out of a little bit of tight space. A quick throw from Marty will sent back to Higgins. It's another long clearance. It's been taken by the wind, and Benjamin I don't think he was expecting that to come for him. It lined up on the Capitolino line and then just bent all the way around. So a bit of a hard one to handle, but the Strikers will maintain possession and try and reload through Mulroney here.
Taylor last, making ball out towards Ichimura, who's stayed pretty wide all game so far, so he can cut in like that. Gets the 1-2 back from Capitolino, dinks it towards the back stick, and that's Benjamin. Capitolino wanted a free kick on that occasion. That time I thought he had a bit more of a case than certainly a couple others. Pretty harsh on him earlier, about 10 minutes ago, with the theatrical attempt at winning the free kick. That one I thought was a little more legitimate, and so does Kieran Mulroney, as he's having a couple of words with Brenton Copra. Those two certainly had captain referee contact for many years here at the Airfield, Tasmania.
Yeah, it's one thing about Tassie football is there's often layers on layers. You get sort of players who are playing for clubs for a long period of time, small communities, or playing for lots of different clubs.
You don't have to say the word football with that. You can just keep it to Tasmania.
That's true. Well, that's almost taking our head off.
Nick testing the reflexes of the three of us over here in the temporary media area. Marty throwing that in. Did touch his hand, but I thought he kicked it to himself, which under a interpretation of handball I heard 3 years ago wasn't a foul, but I give up on that particular rule these days.
Just got to hope the ref's consistent with that, whatever they go for. That was an interesting little back pass from Cataruccio. Burton did make the reception of the pass quite comfortably in the end, but half a second that looked like he just put it straight in the bottom corner.
I thought he hit that with a lot more pepper than he actually did, and I thought it was going to take on a curl like that one there did from Jack Glover, as Harrison now on the far sideline, trying to use the wind to his advantage on that side, and stays in. Plenty of the Devonport bench want a push in the back call, but not given, and other than some room down the left, there's not too many options for Matthew Benjamin. That's a pretty obvious shirt pull. Not given from the assistant referee directly in front of that.
Yeah, I was going to say the ref didn't have a good advantage, a good position to see that, but the AR did. From our vantage point, that was pretty much the perfect angle. A little bit of shirt. They got away with it. That's a nice turn of the corner from Bidwell, though. He'll stand it up, goes over the top. Capitolino just skims over his head, and Ichimura was well marked in the end. These little kind of firm, lowish kind of crossed balls from the Strikers are looking extremely dangerous at the moment.
I mean, he somehow managed to thread the gap between the keeper being able to comfortably collect that and Capitolino being able to get his head on it there with that cross. But that kind of laces cross appears to be a good tactic for the Strikers so far. So they got a corner now. Capitolino wanting it. Burden at the near post. That one going straight up in the air. Bidwell. Ooh, the bicycle. Calls for handball. Not given. Barton has a shot. Another shot from Capitolino. Knights. They've got just about every player back in the 18-yard box, and they need it.
Yeah. Everyone in the box. A few big blocks there. I thought Capitolino was just going to poke one away there for a second, and they've just done enough to give another corner here. But with this wind, it's a bit of a threatening wind for Taylor last.
Strong Olympico areas as Capitolino thought he was dragged down.
Just got on. Almost
This is why the studio exists, fellas.
Peppered with soccer balls here in our temporary commentary arrangements.
Matthew Benjamin, not the greatest return ball here. Burkic will take not too long to go in this half of football.
The Strikers are starting to turn the screws. I've been really liking what I've been seeing out of Charles Bidwell at the moment. He's been really attacking with how he's been carrying the ball. And these switches over to the far side where Ichimura is, they're extremely dangerous. I've been able to hit them probably 2, 3, 4 times. And every time it's got out to him, they look pretty dangerous. So Knights will have to really manage that threat if they want to keep this at 0-0. They haven't had a lot of the ball at all, really, and no real attacking play in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Glover managing to get that one. About 5 minutes and change here to go. Unsure if we'll have the big game gets the fourth official forward for stoppage time here today. I doubt it, given I haven't seen a fourth official. It would be handy, so we will just have to take a guess. There hasn't been too many stoppages in this half.
Yeah, a couple of small fouls here and there.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's been about it. Nothing particularly random, like tree branches falling down that caused the stoppage up at Valley Road last weekend. That was one of the more random things I've seen in one of the most random leagues in Australia.
I feel like they're lucky to get games last week, just given the wind and the rain, and played through them all though. And
yeah, plenty of cancellations amongst all the other competitions around Australia, around Tasmania from junior. If you weren't pretty much playing in one of the two statewide comps, your game pretty much, or three statewide comps, your game pretty much got cancelled, as that one hasn't left the half, and he gets it back. Did well. Thought about the long ball down the line. Bidwell, space. Sturzica. It just took a little bit too long for him to get to, so he hits it first time in the Capilino direction. Toe from last. Bidwell with the turn. Taylor last. Plays it out wide, but plenty of red shirts back. Only Josh Redfern ahead of the play here for the Knights at the moment as Capilino uses his body well against Harrison. Tries to turn. Lays it off towards Ichimura, up against Schmidt. Ichimura jigs inside with the shot, another good save from Angus Burden. Went near post on that occasion, did the striker's import, and it was a good, strong save there from Burden.
It's probably been Knights' best on for this first half. That's two really nice saves, both lowered to his right. That one was coming quickly, well caught by Chimura, again cutting inside. We talked about that earlier. If you can jink inside on that right foot, you trust him to make an impact, and that was a good shot on target. And Knights are holding on by the skin of their teeth. That's all they have to do, but they'll have to do it for another 45 minutes if they're to win the title. It's a bit of a physical challenge from Murati. He's got the numbers now. Dennehy on the inside. Dennehy shapes a shoot and really pulled that shot. Goes out for a goal kick. From our angle, that looked like there wasn't a touch on it. The supporters behind the goals did not think so.
No, I thought that was a goal kick, to be honest. We can hear the strikers bench from over here, not happy at that decision, but from our angle here, I thought that was a goal kick. I thought Massey Benjamin was the better option on that occasion.
Yeah, Dennehy in a good position, but didn't have his head up, and really nice late challenge from Glover just to put him off.
Burkic charged down the crosses. We have a corner for the Knights. They haven't had too many of them of late, and it's been a little while as we've got 3 minutes, I reckon, left if we get the normal 1 minute of stoppage time, as it's now 1-1 at Darcy Street between South Hobart, Launceston City, Zebras and Riverside 0-0. Haven't got a score from that fourth game of Lions, Launceston United at hand as the cross from the corner comes in rising high. Well cleared by the strikers. Both of these sides, as we've mentioned before, strong, tall defenders, as that's a good flick on towards Glover. Thought about the shot. Oh, that was pretty dramatic as well, I thought. But plenty of Knights faithful thought there was something in that, and
it might have been contact, but Glover was looking for it for sure.
I thought that was a little more likely than the Capilino one, but that was setting a pretty low bar.
Yes, that's for sure. I think Cottered will want to make sure it's a dead set pen to really call one in a game of this magnitude. Yeah,
I'd certainly agree with
make
that.
The teams earn it. Given everything that's gone into this year and the pressure that South Hobart and even Lions and Launceston City have put on these sides to get where they are, to basically have a playoff final to win the title. Just pick up a foul on that occasion, though.
Yeah, the league system here in Tasmania going the traditional option, one I personally prefer. Just about every other state with grand finals on today. If you need something to do in this wild weather, New South Wales and Victorian NPL finals are on at 6 p.m. tonight. Great work having them on at the exact same time, but anyway, I digress. It's probably only me who cares about that.
Might have to multi-stream that one.
Yeah. Couldn't just make 1-4 and 1-6 in the grand scheme of things, but anyway. Free kick about to come in for the strikers. Plenty of loft on that one. Burden retreats. That one holds up in the wind, so Mearns gets to it. First time ball back in, only as far as Dylan, who'll get the second touch. Will he get the third one in front of Murati? He will. That's a great save. Great tackle again there from Murati, but forced to retreat after the quick throw. Maybe a little too quick. Taylor Last, fantastic defending on that occasion. Put his whole body in front of Dylan. Knew he was going to come charging through. The man we used to call Stone Cold Roller Dylan here at Slice of Cheese, and won the foul expertly.
Yeah, looks a little bit sore on the way up, but he's up. Yeah, well done by Taylor Last. Such a good defensive midfielder. That was just showing his defensive chops. We all know about his passing and tempo control. Covered well there. I also think for him, Murati, it's been pretty solid in this first half as well. He's probably one of the more unsung players in this strikers lineup. He's been playing the last couple of seasons that fullback position, and he does a lot of things really well, and that was a nice little challenge just to slow the attack down. But Knights will just control it here. Try and put Mulroney under some pressure. And then nods forward. Redfern in a decent position. Another piece of nice shielding from Taylor Last, and earns another free kick. So again, showing his the physicality and defensive chops. As Glover's header doesn't find its intended target.
And as Brenton Copper looks at his watch, and he could be about to see the end of the half here, as Barton probably should get this forward and does. That one cleared from Glover, still with play on, more than a minute of added time. Looking likely here. Again, and that will be the last kick of a tense first half here at KG5 with the title on the line. It is Glenorchy Knights 0, Devonport Strikers 0. Not too many chances in this game so far, Alex. Been a real tactical.
And the Isuzu MUX SUV.
Reflex saves have kept it 0-0 for Knights, and that's all they need to do at the moment is keep that score level. And
our McCafe blend isn't just barista crafted across Australia. Our beans are also sourced from Kenya, Honduras, Ethiopia and Brazil, then roasted in Melbourne. Just another reason it's coffee fit for an Aussie.
Pretty entertaining game. And I certainly, for one, will be looking forward to the second 45 minutes of this one.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic second half in the offing. 0-0 here at KG5. We'll be back in 14 minutes' time for what should be one of the best halves of football in Tasmania for the year. Glenorchy Knights 0, Devonport Strikers.
And the Isuzu MUX SUV.
area. Oh yeah. Yeah, I reckon that cool. You got to say they would have 10 much more. Any other player, so they can get 10 much. Yeah, he would have had him pick up 23. Most of those 20 yards he gets pulled. And there's 6 of them. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, full things. Oh, it'll be one of these nights. 14 rounds of it.
Not so much boots always on.
I think the ground I mean, they're about to shut it. They only shut it every October. Like, hoping once every year and stuff. Yeah. So, see how quickly seeding, sowing this shit.
Anytime there's a Darcy Street game on,
I'd like to do it. It's half the time.
You guys are so long.
I'm literally like 400 metres. I did see someone sort of the other street, like the top of the tour active that's photographed, so like that night
it's not early. You could have got like
you got like the weird pocket where like the politicians where I am, like 1970s apartment of 2000. Yeah. And then you've got like anything past, yeah, and then you've got everything after 100 plus 150 Strickland Avenue.
Yeah. With the mountains.
Where the greens are green. Like the greens are too right wing. And you're like and then you've got what is the fern trees also.
Yeah. Maybe the dinner is strange too, where it's like if you go like my roads and if you go around the corner it's like it's basically Toller's Hill.
Yeah.
And so you get all these
up the
big
top of that
houses.
hill, and like, because they're building a new. There's that house I've been watching built down like the window up that way before you get to Toller's. And it's like, and then like you see the ones that come over the top of like up the top of the hill. It took me like a solid time to work out where those houses are.
Mine's are like kind of the back end of West Hobart. Sort of.
Well, you got that in, but then you got the ones that are like, you've got ones that come over the hill from the Lincoln Road, you've got ones that come over the Old the downhill side. You're like, how is that house?
I used to think I've got a bit of a soft spot for San Francisco. He's been sort of thrown in at the deep end really. I think he was kind of in that position just because he really had a lot of structure around him. He went over there to get more experience, maybe 21, maybe top championship, get a senior football experience, and he's running straight into NPL. Good on him for being ambitious enough to take that job, but it's never really a winning position.
Nice to put a face to that, yes, I know. Hi, nice to meet you.
And you guys know you're going to come over to the corner and do the presentation there.
Yeah.
And you can mic us up.
Yeah, so I'll give you one of these. You only need...
Can you just do it?
Yeah, of course. No, I was going to show you. Basically, we can just hold this in front.
Fine.
If there's another ground mic or something, you can put it on. We'll only go through the screen.
Because the PA was in the old stand. The PA is gone, hasn't it? Because it was in the old stand. Yeah, so because we used to have 2 mics back in the day. You'd have one for the channel like that. The second one doesn't exist, so... And I'll do my best to get some news after. Yeah, I didn't think it would take losing team, but I also assumed it was operational.
Southeast Asia. Thank you. That's so good.
It was good. Cambodia and Vietnam. Yeah, so it was just 2 weeks. Very, very good.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah, made it much more palatable coming back to this. Well, at least I've had some sun now. I can sort of just enjoy my being at home. It's cool, yeah. I've been to Angkor Wat. It's so cool. Food is so good. So highly recommend. Yeah. Cambodia is sim race. We also had a friend so he wrote some whole PDF guide, so if you're not there I can call you that. Because it's like
how it's not just a message, it's the entire PDF. That's a quality.
Yeah, it was like 3 pages of like where to eat, what to do.
But an up-to-date one. Not like your Lonely Planet, like if you're holding a physical Lonely Planet, and you go there and the rest of them's been gone for like 2 years.
Yeah, he was like pop in here, say hi, for us. So good.
My first year, my first year of 2 1 and just finished with 3
We had one in Canada. Graham and I were like in the middle of nowhere in like the Rockies, and we were like, go to this restaurant, and we'd go there, and like, there's just nothing there. We'd be like, oh well.
Like with Indonesia, it'd be, if you want to, it'd be awesome. Just like, start with as I said, questions.
I mean, I don't like the only memorable last week. The other one.
Let's keep holding this one.
And the Isuzu MUX SUV.
Our McCafe blend isn't just barista crafted across Australia. Our beans are also sourced from Kenya, Honduras, Ethiopia and Brazil, then roasted in Melbourne. Just another reason it's coffee
for the
fit
second
for an
half
Aussie.
of the NPL Tasmania title decider between Glenorchy Knights and Devonport Strikers. No bucking about from either side. Brenton Copper is about to blow the whistle. They've practically ran out here to get underway. Such is their eagerness, and we are off. Long ball initially from Corderuccio, putting Maradi under a little bit of pressure. Doesn't look like any changes from either side as we have a quick scan. And before we get on with the action in front of us here, quick around the grounds. South Hobart 2-1 ahead, Riverside 1-0 ahead, Kingborough Lions 4-1 ahead over Lonnie United in the fourth game in the last round of the NPL Tasmania. Strikers might have to use some of that firepower we talked about on the bench earlier, Alex, as this half continues. I'd expect Nick L.A., Zadsny and Geordie Payne to come on at some point.
Yeah, I was intrigued to see that Nicolano Atkinson hadn't started this game. He's been in pretty good form. So that ball's just behind the Strikers' strike force from Ricky Uchimura. But yeah, just think he adds such a different dimension to any team. Sort of a massively unique player, and also a little bit of dead ball prowess, which might come in handy right at the end here. But Strikers not panic stations yet. I think they'll be still just trying to push for the next 15-20 minutes, and then for the last 20 it's going to be everything thrown at the wall.
Yeah, kitchen sink time then, I think, for the Strikers. They've played plenty of cup finals, so they know what that sort of there is no tomorrow type games are like. Plenty of experience with that, and as we briefly alluded to, Knights looking to win the double in what is James Sherman's last game in charge for the Knights before he leaves the NPL Tasmania with quite the trophy cabinet, especially having built the Knights up from their days in the Southern Championship where he was still with them as a player. As Sturzica forward towards Capolino. Bidwell getting forward into the 18-yard box. Capolino wants it back. Wants to turn, surrounded by red shirts. That's at least 3 or 4 of them. He's still got a Capolino, and this time captured by Angus Burden. It's that was a good work there from Capolino. He managed to get past 4 Knights players and just about got the shot off. And we saw the Strikers starting to build nicely into that first half, and they've come out in the second pretty well here, Alex.
Yeah, I've liked what I've seen from them a little bit more, as I said, that last 20 minutes of the first half, and just being able to sort of play through their midfield a little bit more. That's been probably the key in this better period for them. It's been very difficult to play through that midfield for both teams. When they've been able to get Bidwell on it, Last has come into the game nicely, and they've just been spreading it out a little bit through that midfield and then getting it wider. So they're looking pretty good, and that's not the best ball turned over into the path of Ichimura. He'll recycle it just back to the Sturzaker direction, direct to Capolino. Glover leaves it. Dennehy was running onto it, but nothing doing there from the Strikers attacking midfield. A massive Benjamin, it's blue one. It's rattled the crossbar from Dennehy. Best chance of the game. Caught it cleanly and absolutely cannoned off the crossbar there.
Oh, we heard the rattle from all the way over here, 60 yards away. Dennehy has hit that with some power. Burden beaten all ends up from close range, and the Strikers have looked good in this second half. Cross coming in from Ichimura, cleared by Mearns. Dylan gets there at the second effort. Chip forward, looking for Walpole. just left it behind him, the Knights winger. 1v3 here at the moment as Devonport wants to win the free kick. Does so, and the first slice of cheddar coming out for the Ashgrove-sponsored Devonport Strikers towards Toby Barton.
Much to the delight of the Knights fans.
Not the strongest, bitiest cheddar of all time, but certainly Copra thought that one deserving of the first yellow card of the afternoon.
I tend to agree with the man in the middle there. It's definitely slowed down the attack and not much of a play on the ball, sort of with the flicked around back heel. And we'll leave a little bit of an interesting free kick for Riley Dillon to take. It's a little bit short, but Glover gets onto it. He nods it up in the air, and Bidwell trying to use his body to get away with it. And Bidwell moving it up the line. And well cut out by Catariccio, just making that little defensive intervention again. Nicely done by Last. Again, he's come into the game nicely. Young Cody Sturzaker taking it. Ichimura can't get past Schmidt that time. And big body-on-body contact between Redfern and Last. And it will end up being a Knights free kick.
Yeah, bit of contact there, but unfortunately, well, Redfern managed to get the nutmeg in, so he was still kind of had possession of the ball there as Last retreats to his defensive midfield position. The Knights look to attack as the sun begins to come out at KG5. A pleasant occurrence here for all those in attendance. Schmidt backs it forward. Cordwell. Redfern challenging the two players.
Massive header from Mulroney.
Between Mulroney and Redfern getting stuck together after that one. It's a nice bit of control there from Riku Ichimura. Battling back is Cordwell up against Bidwell. Still going, the two midfield combatants. Bidwell still with possession. Now Dennehy, what can he do on this occasion? Chinks it towards the back post, and Burkic sees that one out for a goal kick, but the Strikers playing with a bit more urgency so far, as we saw from Tom Ballantyne on ball collecting duty on the far side there earlier, showing plenty of intensity in this half.
Yeah, it's been a nice intense performance again. Bidwell having a little bit of ball carrying. That's turned over again in a dangerous position. Dennehy will shape shoot this time, doesn't catch it quite as well that time. Scuffed low into the path of Burden. But yeah, they've been able to build through that midfield just a little bit better. I was liking to see that battle between Bidwell and Cordwell. I'd say two contenders if you were to assemble a team of the season. Two players that might be in there in that midfield position, maybe along with Kobe Kemp, who currently leading the Golden Boot from I think a number 10 position. Quite impressive, I have to say so. And don't think either Cordwell or Mees will catch him last game.
Yeah, obviously we know there's 4 goals already scored down the Lions. Haven't quite got to hand who the 4 are. Ooh, see what happens there as Schmidt wins that one. Now Dillon charging in towards the 18-yard box is Riley Dillon, and another good searching ball across the box. We've seen plenty of them in these games so far as Walpole tries to create some space. Back towards Burkic, who's going to chip this one in, but that goes over the head of everyone. And the Chickens hasn't had a great deal to do in terms of direct shots, but Knights have got forward a few times.
Yeah, it was an absolutely tantalising delivery from Riley Dillon. I think everything that Knights have done well today has sort of gone through him. He's had one shot that only just skimmed past the back stick of the Strikers' goal, and it was a really nice ball. Redfern was a little bit further forward, just could have dangled a foot out there. But not to be for the Knights. But again, for them, until Strikers score that goal, it's not panic stations for them. They're doing what they have to, as sort of marginally as that might be at the moment, with Dennehy rattling the crossbar and a few excellent saves from Burden. So hasn't quite come together for the Strikers just yet.
It's a long throw in from Sturzica. Capolino battling away with Harrison, and the free kick goes the way of the Glenorchy Knights. These Strikers looking for something unprecedented. 6 out of 7 NPL titles in a row. A fantastic record. The Knights so far the only one to beat them in that streak in 2021, which we didn't quite touch on. A dramatic last day of the season that was. Strikers playing down at Kingborough, losing. Knights winning here at KG5 to win the title. The trophy didn't turn up for 40 minutes. At least we can have the trophy in the right spot on this occasion as Ichimura goes charging through the middle. He's gone past 3. Burns. Pretty unceremonious challenge there from Nick Burns. He stays on the ground, Ichimura. Harrison manages to intercept that one. Walpole. Surely a yellow card coming from Nick Burns, and given the action, surprised. That one's certainly on the more red Leicester side of the card scale there for Nick Burns. It's a slice of cheddar on this occasion. Yeah, if you're going through the Ashgrove Tassie Trio type of cheese, certainly on the more orange side there.
We have to get our superiors to reach out for a sponsorship on that occasion, but yeah, not the best challenge, and it was one of those ones that didn't end up slowing the attack down at all. Played right out into that wing, and Knights able to sort of deal with that threat anyway. But a couple of players now having to walk the tightrope on a yellow card. Obviously don't have to deal with any sort of suspension ramifications at the end of this season, being the last game, so just a matter of staying even strength. But strikers, again, just look a little bit more ominous. They're attacking with just that tiny bit more pace, a little bit more directness, and able to control the ball here on the far side. Martin's ball is not in any particular direction, but they'll get another bite at the cherry because the clearance is equally turned over. Taylor Last was a nice little ball for Dennehy. Shape on his left foot. Caught it okay, but blocked and up in the air. And again, it's action stations for this Glenorchy Knights defence. Sturzaker with a raking ball and headed up by Burkic. Marcy Benjamin cuts it low. Burden with a low save again. Capellino tees it up. Dennehy again catching it okay. The follow-up again is caught well and chested away by Glover. And headed away that time. They're putting immense pressure on. Another blocked shot.
Strikers laying siege to the Glenorchy Knights goal here at the moment. Burden and Glover just doing enough between them, charging and saving everything coming at them. But the Strikers looking promising here as we tick close towards the hour mark here, and where we would expect some subs to begin to be made as the corner comes in centrally. Capellino, there it goes in that direction, but Angus Burden gets down low to save well. Be good to get his hands on one here for Angus Burden. And the Knights beginning to get pressed further and further back here as Dylan gets the 1-2, gets past Sturziker and just lays it off towards Corderuccio. The Strikers bench warming up on the far side. Glenorchy Knights on a great deal of movement. Joel Samet, Tony Mamich, Henry Bain and Theodoru, the options to come on, as this time Knights win the free kick, which the Strikers coach Tom Valentine not terribly happy with.
Yeah, I do wonder if, Knights don't need to push for another goal, but Mamich has been in good goal scoring form.
As that's going to be a slice of cheese for the Strikers coach. The fact that we could hear that from the complete other side of the ground means I'm not surprised there's been a card dished out there.
It's a bit of a memorable game earlier this season between Strikers and South Hobart, which Tom Valentine got 2 yellow cards in the space of about 5 seconds and had to spend the rest of the game in the change rooms.
Yeah, it wasn't that whole first half was a bit of a slow burn, and that last 5 minutes of that half was pretty crazy as Ichimura was underneath that one. And high ball just about cleared by the Strikers through Maradi, and it's now looks like the Strikers faithful are down that cricket net end of the ground, willing their team, trying to drive their team a ball in the back of the net down that end, using whatever help they can. A kind of orderly switch of sides here from the active fans, which you don't usually see in football. Just a polite, maybe a quick word or two outside the Grove Road shop, if they want to get their Green Street Hooligans act on out there. But all well and good so far as Thomas ball Best going forward. He'll get another chance here. Riley Dillon desperate for the ball on this far side, waving like he's trying to control a plane in. And I don't blame him as he's in an acre of space. This time, stays down that side. Toby Barton stands strong. Trying to go the delicate ball there, Murati. And between the two of them, it didn't quite work out as now the cross will come in wide. Redfern up against Mulroney. Now Barton. Heaves clear towards Capolino, gets it on the chest twice. I thought that second one might have got pulled up by the referee, but this time Ichibura goes the long range, thinking Burden was off his line. In the end, that was a comfortable chest mark.
Yeah, just looking to catch him off his line, as you said, Paul. Again, Burden, not the tallest keeper, so probably it's worth a go, but didn't have enough pepper on it, and that will be a little foul from Ichimura, using the hands on his opposite number, Schmidt.
He's pulled it back for a chat with Taylor Last and Dillon as well after what they were doing just before that.
Getting a little bit chippy out here, KG5. I personally don't mind seeing a little bit of it, as long as it doesn't boil over into anything untoward. And just a little bit to stay on top of here, Brendan Copperez. Looks like Knights are making a swap with Nick Mearns coming off and clapped off by Knights faithful in this back corner, and looks like Alex Caldo coming in.
One person I didn't scroll down far enough on the dribble team sheet to mention just 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, scored a cracker a few weeks ago against Lonnie City here, but yeah, much more of a defensive midfield as Caldwell. A bit of a scissor kick, kind of poking that one at wide of Mitch Higgins' goal. That's an interesting little change from James Sherman. If they're trying to manage minutes or just get that energy.
I think it's the yellow card as well coming into that. And,
yes,
with that very orange shade of yellow card there before. And I mean, we have seen Moons come off in the 60th minute with some regularity over his career due to various persistent injuries, but he's been really good for fitness so far this year. Nick Mearns, it's deprived us of one of Tasmania's best footballers over the years, but this year he's just stayed fit the whole season, which has been great to see. As Bidwell trying to give Schmidt the merry dance and the cross.
I was going to say, he had a season or two in Social League 1 for Phoenix, and you often get that. I mean, as a veteran of the Social Leagues myself, and seeing an NPL player of that higher calibre on the team sheet for an opposing player, you think, oh God, we might be in for a tough day today.
The year Lucas Hill also played for Phoenix that year as well.
It's been
the same year.
I think so. I mean, it's been a I'm pretty sure that was an intimidating lineup, I have to say, given that was not one of our better years in the university. Anyway, we'll move over from my social career. But
the 1 year I played Social Div 1, Dwayne Walsh played his 1 year down in a break between NPLs and Southern Premier Leagues.
Interesting to see some team sheets in that league. Some familiar names at times.
As Toby Barton wins that header strongly towards Dennehy, who's come the closest of anyone on the pitch to scoring here this afternoon, rattling the crossbar. And nearly putting the Strikers on the live ladder on top of the NPL Tasmania. Currently still the Knights 2 points. Point clear at the moment is Riley Dillon. Jinks inside onto his left peg, goes out towards Walpole. They're both on the same side at the moment, and he just got there, did Redfern, and Higgins had to make sure not to commit too early. Outstretched leg from Josh Redfern, who we haven't seen a great deal of in this game so far, but like most good strikers, sometimes they just need the one chance. As that back heel from Capolino nearly comes off towards Dennehy.
Yeah, game opening up here, and that was probably Knight's best move of the game. Some magnificent little bit of vision from Riley Dillon, again showing his two-footed nature. It's really hard to show him onto 1 foot because he'll put himself on his left, and he's just as strong there, and just poked it inside. And not a bad ball, really, just a little bit out of the grasp of Josh Redfern, who was lurking at that back stick, and Higgins with his only real bit of work that he's had to do today. The Knights showing that they still want to win this game, and I think that's really what both teams are set out to do. As Bidwell stands it up almost to the top of the box. Capolino was in the right direction, but well cut out. Murati will try and barge his way through. Bidwell go again to Marcy Benjamin. It's a low ball. Oh, fluffed by Burden, and Capolino was right there to take it away from him, but too close to the line. It looks like it did take a little touch off Burden last, so it will be a corner.
Capolino's getting in all the right positions here. There was a crucial interception before where he was at the top of the box, and that time persisting and chasing down Angus Burden and getting a toe in. It was his foot in the end that saw it go out for a corner as this one goes towards the near post. Two of them rising high and straight at the keeper. Toby Barton there, using all of his height and experience there. Got that one on target. Burden, again, stood strong as the game opens up here as Harrison hits that one out of play. Walpole.
He wanted someone in the channel there, Harrison, but there was no one there for him, so kind of had to play it down the line. It wasn't the ball that he wanted. As Capolino hits the deck this time. Now Knights, can they go forward through Caldo? Up from Barton. It's challenged by Redfern. And Murati will just put that one up into the wind. Well judged by Glover. He last. Just a turn on it. Does nicely and finds his midfield partner in crime, Bidwell. And Strikers just slowing it down here. I think they want to look for this kind of overload down the right-hand side, and they don't get it. And now Dylan is completely outnumbered by yellow shirts, but Knights now build a little bit of possession, and again they'll be happy to have a bit more of this kind of slower tempo football. There's time just starting to get a little bit of back of mind for the Strikers, you'd imagine.
Yeah, 66 minutes gone now as Schmidt cleans that one inside. Caldwell dropping slightly deeper to receive the ball than we've seen him. Burkic still not afraid to push on from left back at the moment as Knights try to mix it up and come down the near side all the way back towards Schmidt again. Walpole hugging the touchline and then trying to get the return ball, but well read there from Cody Sturzica. Knights again out the left hand side. Burkic couldn't quite get that one as that one's intercepted, and now going around Caldwell. I see Benjamin charging down the right hand side. Only really has Capolino up ahead, so drops back to Bidwell, who's been all over the park here in this second half. We've seen him pop up just about everywhere. That's a nice ball down the channel towards Redfern, up against Mulroney. Shows him towards the sideline. He tries to go around the outside, but Kieran Mulroney has seen that trick a million times before, and that's going to have to do something a little better to get around the Strikers captain there, as we will get a substitution coming up here at the moment for the Strikers. Looks like so it's Declan Zadsnik coming on, or is that Geordie Payne on the far sideline? Certainly an attacking
Might
change.
Have been Payne, but we'll see if we can get the number.
Need binoculars to see people from that side.
Just going to give Kieran Mulroney a bit of credit on that play. He's been quite solid throughout this game today, both in the air and on the ground. That was a nice, just veteran instinct.
And there's Geordie Payne, who's come on, who we saw burst onto the scene a couple of years ago, getting some starts in the NPL, has continued to dominate the under-21s this year, but he's now on the park for the biggest 25 minutes of his career so far, and he'll get a touch on the left-hand side up against Walpole, and he's slipped over the ball on that occasion. And on this very true surface here at KG5, had some work done on the field before they've done all the grandstand work, and it's come up a treat so far. This very cold, wet winter here in Hobart is Payne now towards Sturzica. Capolino trying to turn and then handball stop that one, and as well as having Declan and Nicola now Atkinson on the bench, you can certainly get away with chucking someone like Toby Barton up top as well if it gets towards that.
Got Dom Smith there as well, so he can cover in the back line if they need, or himself. He did score kind of in that first contest between these two off a set piece. A bit of talk timber at the end of games never goes astray. It'll be Devonport again to go forward. They are ratcheting up the pressure again on Glenorchy Knights. Knights have been able to hold everything thus far. That ball's a little bit short. Harrison, not the best clearance away by Walpole. It's just straight into Cordericchio. You see Knights have gone back to a double pivot here with Caldo coming on, so it's a little bit more defensively solid. Goes to the one-on-one with Capolino. It's a good chest down. Follows up with a slide. Ichimura. Murati now stands it up in the Capolino direction. He's fought it well and puts it away. But there's a whistle.
Yeah.
And too much fighting, I guess, on the high ball there.
Yeah, he was grabbing a lot of the defender underneath in there, both shirt, and that's why he kind of got to pull him out of the way just about. As now the Knights on the attack here through Redfern. Dylan screaming for it, and that is an exceptionally overhit pass, but Dylan will manage to keep it in. Trying to keep it in is Dylan. Goes towards the byline. Good move from Dylan. Oh, just waiting in the box was Redfern, but couldn't quite get past the striker's defence. Dennehy all the way back on his own goal line, but he wins the throw in. Does fan favourite Brodie Dennehy.
Said that probably 3 or 4 times today again about Dylan's two-footedness. That time showing them onto his right foot and then going onto his left, and almost carved out another bit of space. He's looking like if anything's going to happen for Knights, it seems like it might come through Riley Dillon today. Caldwell has been pretty ineffectual, I'd say. One of the front runners for MVP this season. With his movement usually so good, he hasn't been able to find those pockets of space to shoot. Walpole will try and find one of himself, but just backheels it to Calderuccio. Does what any good defensive midfielder will do and just spreads it back out to his centre-back. And now Knights just surveying the field. Thursday again with a nice little foot in. Walpole has been well held by him today as well. It's really been Dylan, a little bit of Redfern here and there, but his probably end product hasn't been there. Knights have, again, their front four normally so effective. Probably been their Achilles heel today.
Yeah, I think they've been defensively solid so far. The Knights, bar that really good Dennehy chance. That's the one sort of golden clear-cut chance they've had. They've had a few others as well, but that's really the best one as Mulroney dispossessed. He manages to get back, showing that great recovery speed with Kieran Mulroney. Got both the recovery speed and the motor, does Kieran Mulroney. And the Knights, the strikers faithful up north. 20 minutes to go. Really got to start throwing the kitchen sink at it. Knights, probably a little early to go down to the corner, but that's where they go temporarily as the cross comes in into the side netting. Higgins hasn't had too much to do so far. He'll take his time and launch this one long. There's not going to be many short goal kick routines out of the strikers, I don't imagine, for the rest of this game, as that one's got a bit better distance on it, and Payne manages to flick it on. Now, did well. Back towards Sturzica. Capolino thought about chesting it, but he was at an awkward height, and that's good play there from the two Knights defensive mids. The best pass from Corderuccio. They did well to get out of trouble there as Payne. Now Sturzica rising up an option. That's a good pass down the line, and Payne miscontrols it, and the bend of that might just see it out for a throw, and not the worst result. After that slightly poor touch there from Geordie Payne, they get the opportunity to press up. Mitch Higgins getting very vocal in the striker's goal.
And just taking his time. He can't really afford to really do that. Just his first couple of touches has been a little bit uncomfy thus far. Jordan Payne, maybe almost a little bit too charged up. Sometimes these big games you can spend a bit of time on the bench and you're really antsy to get on and use all that energy that you've sort of been building up, but just needs to make sure of his first touch in the next couple of occasions. As Dylan play it back into his midfield. It's a nice ball into Dylan. Tries to play it through to Redfern, who was on his bike, but a little bit behind him, and Mulroney will cut it out and look to launch Devonport forward here. Goes for a nice channel ball. This is Payne in space this time. Nice and clean with his first touch on this occasion. To step over on. It's a decent ball, and Burton has to punch it over the bar. That was going to just find its way over his head just for a second there.
Look, he hasn't meant that, but Geordie Payne would take it if that went in the end, and so the rest of the Devonport strikers faithful. as Taylor Last coming across to take this set piece. Strikers also preparing another substitution. All looks pretty quiet on the Knights bench for the moment. 15, 16 minutes plus stoppage time to go. We've got Brent Copper in charge, so we can imagine a few maybe extra seconds of stoppage time compared to some of our other referees down here, for those not quite familiar, as this one comes in, and nearly Olympico, almost back in, off the thigh, eventually cleared from the Knights. Last hits it, but hits it wide, and Taylor Last has nearly made himself a hero of all the Northwest. And one of the best goals you'll see, off the crossbar from the corner. That wind coming across from right to left as you're looking at it as a Knights player's down.
Yeah, it's one of the only... Well, you don't see Olympico so often, but that's the time when they do come out to play, when it is windy like this. That one, they have to bend on it to hit the crossbar. So that's twice for the strikers. I think Dennehy's was more of a clear-cut opportunity, and not able to follow up again. That was another sort of all-hands-on-deck moment for the Knights, and looks like someone just on the ground, maybe Matt Burkic.
Yeah, Burden was scrambling there for that Taylor Last corner kick. It was dropping at quite the rate. That is a substitution spotted. I'd assume that's Liam Kelly. Another player of significant height for the strikers. Maybe they just chose most of their bench. I mean, Nick LA's on there, but everyone else chose them purely by height.
I think they're thinking, if we just need to go direct, we're going to go direct. That makes the decision not to put Miles Barnard on the bench all the more challenging for me.
Yeah, we'll ram that down everyone's throat here at Slice of Cheese, which anyone who's listened to us down the years knows our opinion of the Fox in the box. Yeah. That's going to add a nice minute or two of stoppage time here, I imagine. And look at Burkic, that was down on the deck.
Looking too good for him at the moment.
Really not.
Just trying to see, Joel Samet would probably be the likely replacement.
You would think so.
It's like he's actually toddling up towards the centre line.
At least you don't have to get in the referee's ear about adding stoppage time here this afternoon. There's not going to be much problem with that, as that is Joel Samet on for the Knights. They've plenty of experience down the years in big games. That one's nearly gone out on the full, but Ichimura has managed to keep it in. Glover kicks that one out of play. Knights bench wanting a free kick for the foot left in by the strikers player, and looks like another slice of cheese goes towards the bench. Can't tell if that...
Marcello Marcolioli, yeah. Essentially, he was the one standing up. And
I mean, I know he was standing up, but never discount Alex Tatnell there putting a word in as well. You can get away with saying that. As that one comes in for the strike, it's Bidwell allowed to turn. He's got 3 players up ahead, but he's run into a bit of a cul-de-sac at the moment. Eventually gets it out towards Ichimura, who hits towards the byline and manages to get the cross in, and Harrison does well to clear that one out of play whilst not having the greatest body show. Capolino with the bicycle kick, and he's been threatening to do that a couple of times here this afternoon there, Capolino. This time Burden claiming that one pretty comfortably, as Lee tick towards 10 minutes to go.
It's a lovely
13.
Lovely chest down and a little bit rush shot. From this angle, it almost looked like it might loop over Burden's head into the top corner. Not to be. Would have been one of the best goals you ever see to win a title. We won't be troubling the scorer's book just yet, Capolino. You will get on the ball this time, trying to hold it up. That's well done by Schmidt. Go down onto Redford with chest down. Doesn't really have a lot of options in front, so we'll have to hold it up a bit longer. Mulroney's done well to close down his angle, and he chips into a decent area. Barton's under pressure, but it's one of the coolest cucumbers in the league. Not going to panic over that situation.
Just as a mid-league social defender, I dream of having such trust with my defensive partner there with Mulroney. Pushes up high, presses up towards halfway, and you know Barton is going to be back there to rescue the situation. As Mulroney and Dillon having a little laugh about that one, as Corderuccio retrieves and lays it back towards Harrison.
Knights are just having enough possession at the moment, which is giving them a bit more advantage. As Dylan chases that one down, Mulroney having to make an evasive challenge and put it out for a throw-in.
Really important for Riley Dillon here to check his shin pad, just to check there hasn't been any previous bodily harm committed to it.
And leave it for his fullback, more importantly. It's just time out of the game for Knights. As I said, that possession, any time the ball spends it out of play is going to be golden for them, but Dillon might fashion an opportunity for them. That's another tantalising ball from Dillon, and you can see how angry he is with his teammates not being on the penalty spot for him.
There we go.
That was a good ball, and Capolino running up in a really dangerous position. End-to-end stuff here now, and Knights will look to attack through Samet. He gets a welcome to the game, that challenge, and Murati's ball forward is blocked out of play.
I don't blame Dillon for not being particularly happy with that. It wasn't like it was across the face goal and expecting him to charge in. He's hit that perfectly on the penalty spot where someone just has to sit. And they can certainly retreat from there a little better than other positions if needed. And Glover not happy with himself for knocking that one out for the corner, and the tall timber begins to go forward. Sterzika staying back, Murati staying back, everyone else up ahead. Not the best side of the pitch for Taylor Last to have another attempt at an Olympico. The wind still swirling. It is still dangerous times here for the Knights. Strikers faithful behind the goal. Urging this one in. Dink towards the front post. Everyone rises. What a save from Burden. Barton got there in front of all the Knights defenders, and Burden stared strong. Ichimura has hit that one straight up in the air. Corderuccio with the header. Sterzika pumps it forward. Schmidt has to clear first time. Plenty of Knights players in the centre circle as Dillon chipped down the middle. Mulroney has managed to get back. Heaves it forward. Now Bidwell on the turn. Doesn't have any options down the line. He's going to have to fashion something here, and he's got a couple of players inside. One is Ichimura. Jinks onto the right foot. Now there's space out wide for Liam Kelly. He's cross-charged down by Joel Samet. And the Strikers, well, we mused in pre-game that if it's 0-0 at the 70th, 80th minute, all the Strikers might have the advantage here. They can just throw absolutely everything at the Knights, and they will have to sit further back as the foul given on Tom Walpole.
Yeah, I'm just still looking at Nicolau Atkinson over there. I'm just thinking maybe he could have been used not to be at this stage of the game. I just have to go back to that Angus Burton save. How many is that? 4 reflex saves today. I have to say, best on so far for Knights. He's absolutely kept them in the game. Made the saves he's had to, and he's been clean with his ball use as well. They're holding on, Glenorchy. They're doing what they have to. Any means necessary is the MO today for the team in red. Strikers again will try and push forward through Bidwell. He's been at the heart of everything. The Strikers once again. That's a nice breaking ball for Payne. And he cut on his right foot. Goes for the little standard up ball for Bidwell. Teed up for Kelly. It's blocked. Capolino tries to turn the corner on Harrison. He falls over, and it does get cleared up in the air by Schmidt. Absolutely roosted high. And I think Redfern will be hoping it just finds touch, and Mulroney, again, not one to waste any time at the moment here. Devonport Strikers, they've got to push.
There's Sterzika. Raising out towards Murati, who's clogged up that right-hand side well for the Strikers so far today. In towards Bidwell. Plenty of red shirts in the centre of the park. Do they need to get it wide? This time the chip ball comes in. Always a hard angle to cross from. And this time whacked away from the Knights, and with 7.5 minutes to go, you'd imagine that's what they're going to be doing a lot of, as Mulroney's sweeping ball cleared by the first defender. Barton still staying back for the moment. We'll see if the Strikers decide to push even more bodies forward here with the title on the line. And that one's laid down the line towards Cordwell. Doesn't look in a great rush to find Redfern or Dillon. This time he goes in that direction. Cleared away. Bidwell. Plenty of space in the middle of the park, just as Corderuccio in front. Strikers, they've got plenty of players back there. Capolino, the only one ahead, as Ichimura tries to go through everyone towards Juan Capolino, and his shot is charged down by Tyler Harrison. And a yellow card there for Jack Glover.
I think that was, for the foul on Ichimura, so don't know if he's...
Is he going to play it back for the free kick though? I thought there might have been an extra phase.
Has Glover already had a yellow? No.
No.
He got a good talk. He got a last warning, that's why, right? Yep. Just trying to wind back the memory there.
I'm surprised he's pulled it back for the free kick. There was a little bit of a...
Yeah, I thought there was probably enough advantage there almost. Here we go. Another substitution for the strikers.
Zadznik.
Yeah, it's Declan Zadznik. Murati coming off, so another piece of tall timber here for the strikers right at the opportune moment.
Kelly Capolino paying that is some serious tall timber here for the Knights.
Glover and Harrison have been doing well to cope with it so far, but just throw in Mulroney coming up from the back.
I'll tell you what, the Knights don't have too many taller players to kind of combat that with. Tony Mamich is on the bench. Theodoru as well.
Looks like they might be making their last couple of subs. Mamich warming up and then maybe putting the strip back on. Walpole.
I think Mamich was scheduled to come on and just seen that extra big body and just decided to go with the bigger body there. Mamich, more of a skillful dribbling winger, which whilst we've enjoyed his work down the years at Olympia and Knights, the exact type of player you particularly need in this instance. Henry Bain, the other sub as well.
Yeah, it might be difficult if the strikers do score from here. I think they will. Someone like Mamich could make a big difference, but that's a big if. Just
general confusion here.
Yeah.
So Knights are hoping they could get their player on.
Paperwork needing to be done on time.
And it's Taylor Last over this free kick, very central. He's got plenty to aim for. That one bounces harmlessly towards Burden. Knights did have every player back, so no one to really aim for with the quick release. So Burden will use up all his allotted 7 seconds, which is getting towards 10 very quickly as that one's high in the sky.
Don't think he'll mind that too much, just gone straight into touch.
Yeah, there will be a little bit more stoppage time here than the first half between that sub and Matt Burkic being down earlier as strikers get set to go forward once more. That one charged down, and if he goes anywhere near that, he's about 5 yards offside, and does well not to go anywhere near it as Ichimura now down the right-hand side. Plenty of physicality there from the Knights as that's a good little intercept as Corderuccio now. Some fresh legs coming forward. One of them aiming to go towards Cordwell instead. The strikers managed to cut that one out.
So Devonport, just with that last sub, have gone to a proper out-and-out back three here. So Sturzaker, Barton and Mulroney just playing back three, and then Payne and Ichimura are on the wing. So they'll be playing quite aggressively. They're not really wing-backs, more wide midfielders. And they're trying to push players forward now, the strikers.
Some kind of odd 3-3-4 formation, I think is what they're going for at the moment. Yeah. That middle three,
kind of
3-4-1-2,
yeah.
I don't think they'll have 4 people in midfield here for quite some time, as that one ends up in the Knights' favour. Barton goes charging in, turns away.
He's on a yellow. That's an interesting little decision to be made here.
I think he had enough eyes on the ball to prevent that, but I'm not surprised the Knights player staying down. That was quite the strong challenge. Wasn't anything in that kind
on the ground.
Playing elbow or anything that kind of nature.
I think it just caught him a little bit front on, which, as you see in AFL, can be just one that rattle the opposing player at times. Looks like the referee hasn't made a decision about that just yet. He's just default players making sure he's got his watch out and taking all of the allotted time and adding it on.
Heading towards that rare NPL Tasmania score of 0-0. We don't have too many of them here in this league.
We went through a run of draws in May, where we couldn't separate any of the sides, and Kingborough as well. It was, I was looking last night, and I think the strikers had 4 draws in a row in April and May.
I haven't looked at the NPL Tas often. I was looking at the Women's Super League earlier this year, and there's been one in like 3 years. As That one's cleared by Schmidt. All the way through to Mulroney. Heavy touch off the shin pad. Gives it back towards the Knights. And now it is firmly corner time here for the Strikers attackers. Redfern aiming in that direction. Throw in. It's come in. Brenton Copra giving the hurry up to Bain as he heaves it down the line. Mulroney. That one is going to go out for a corner kick. Not the worst result in the end there for the Knights as Bain aims to pen the Strikers in. They'll do well to get out of the defensive half for a little moment here, the Strikers.
Just the last little tactical update, sorry, Paul. I think, so with that last sub from Knights as well, they're playing sort of three kind of holding midfielders almost. Bain coming out on this right-hand side, everyone else back, almost a back five now at the moment. So they're just defending as much as they can with just Dylan, Caldwell and Redfern forward.
Yeah, I'd be pushing Dylan back into firmly more of a midfield role here as this game goes on. Obviously started his career in Tasmania as a defender, as Bain's done well to get there first. They managed to win the ball for the Knights as a warm, cold, breezy chill descends on KG5 for the last few minutes here of the NPL Tasmania season. About to go into stoppage time. Everyone wanting to know how long's left. No scoreboard here at KG5 for the moment. It's been taken down as part of the renovations, and the old school one not set up for time at the moment. Everyone asking the referee. I haven't seen a cheeky little hand signal or anything for the moment, as that's a good touch from the Strikers tall timber. That one not as good. And that one high in the sky. And eventually all the way back to Barton. The Knights faithful sensing another title could be in the offing. 0-0 as it stands. That will give the Knights the NPL Tasmania title for 2024. What can the Strikers conjure up here? It's Charles Bidwell. Thought about crossing, deciding to go himself. There's plenty of red shirts centrally. Now a shot comes in, curling one! And what a save from Angus Burden. Another crucial save from the Knights goalkeeper. He's standing tall here this afternoon, Burden. That'd be his fourth or fifth fantastic save of the afternoon.
It might be his probably his best, at least best looking save. Flew full stretch and palmed that one away beautifully. That one was flying in on target. And geez, he has kept Knights in it today.
It could be on. I think Mitch Higgins is going to be the only player back here for the moment for the Strikers. Everyone else,
I want to see him up at some point.
Is in the box. Chip ball, Barton again. It's come off a Knight's head in my opinion, and it has. The Strikers will go again. Taylor last. He's put in some really good balls here. We get to some NPL Tas games, and there are. The corner delivery can be one of the things that lets the league down. Taylor last has been really good here this afternoon. It'll be interesting to see what happens if a counter-attack happens here as well, if Higgins won't go forward.
Higgins is a sort of keeper who'll attack it. At least I'm hoping so.
There'd be a tactical red card here would be my prediction, but we'll see if it gets to that as Taylor last goes towards the near post. Header over the top from Declan Zadsby as we are into stoppage time. Angus Burden, as we've mentioned, definitely the player of the match, especially if it stays 0-0. It's been a lot more nervous for the Knights faithful there, standing on edge to the right of us here in the media spot. Just about everyone's standing up in preparation for Copra's final whistle. Still a couple of more minutes before that happens. As that one's flicked on by Redfern, he'll have to chase it himself. Mulroney. The wind taking hold of that one and actually taking it away from his teammates. Good defensive work as Bain whacks that one down the line. That's a really good ball given the circumstances, and that's a really well run foul there for Kieran Mulroney in the circumstances.
Yeah, much to the behind the goals. The Knights supporters are up in arms about that. And I have to say that was well earned by Mulroney. That's showing that veteran presence. And he'll win a free kick, and the Strikers will launch forward again. It'll be Glover who heads away this time. Dylan just getting it forward. Redfern's on a 1-on-3, and Barton again playing a bit of ping pong with his opposing centre back. Mulroney takes a smart option, just gets it on the ground. Sturzaker goes in the Capolino direction. last now. Taking a little bit of time to survey the situation. Plays a little bit more patiently, and that's a free kick this time. Big reaction from Jack Glover. He's got to be careful as the Knights saw. Sorry, the striker's almost taking that one quickly. And Copra.
That was nearly on
pulling
there.
Out a yellow card, and I'm just trying to figure out who that's for.
I mean, I reckon it's one of the Knights players having a very tactical yellow card and stopping Chelsea from towing that ball into an on-rushing striker. He knows that's only a yellow card offence if he does it tactically.
I was just interested to see, because Glover had just picked one up, and that would really throw the spanner in the works the last couple of minutes here. A red card. Just what this game needs. As Brendan Copper really sorting through a fair few players. We're just trying to get the signal from
2 minutes to go.
The referee, yes.
I just gave to Mitch Higgins. I will take that as gospel as well. It's the best source we're going to get.
Okay.
2 more minutes to go. They're taking their sweet time in taking it.
Yeah, decent shooting range here.
Set up. Loving the Cody Sturziger standing in front of Angus Burden as he's setting up his wall as well. There's great dark arts going on here at the moment.
I haven't really seen that one before. I don't mind it.
I've only seen it recently in the last year or so. As the strikers over the top of this one. Copra gives the whistle. Everyone ready to run in. Dangerous position for Ichimura. Well blocked. Volley comes in. Still in the 18-yard box. There's space there for Bidwell. Another great save from Burden and cleared from Jack Glover. Between the two of them, just keeping the Knights in this one.
This is a heroic performance from the Knights keeper. That was probably his best. Quick down to his left again. That was a reflex save, and he's keeping Knights in it for now.
As the corner comes in from last, this one's going to hold up nearly for Mulroney. Gets there, calls for a penalty. This one hacked clear, and play will still continue. There won't be too many Devonport fans on that side of the ground to get that one back, as there's a Knights player down on the deck.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Bidwell had to get that ball, and he did. And it was a big coming together, but Charles Bidwell is just one of those players who goes so hard at it. And it looks like might be Samatap. Whoever challenged for it has come off second best there, and they're not moving at all. I really hope that they're okay, but Bidwell wanted to pen off that as well, because he did get the ball and there was a lot of contact, but I think that was a fairly, from my opinion, a fine decision from the referee not to be given. Alex Caldo is up there.
Well, replay will be talked about up at Devonport for a while to come. As certainly Bidwell got the ball there, as they've found a long throw merchant. Have the strikers. Mitch Higgins desperate to get forward given the situation. He's in his own half, but he's sort of lying around in no man's land at the moment. Players had to come off for the Knights. Now he's got to come back on. Opera hasn't waved him on, so they're down to 10 temporarily as Barton heaves it in. Went for the volley. Shot comes in. That would have been a very controversial handball, as that one's dinked in, headed clear from the Knights. And that one is another corner. Could it be keeper time now? They had to do that whole thing with 10 players. Did the Knights.
Get him in there. Get the keeper up.
Coach Sherbert not happy with that at all.
Imagine if he can score the big goal here.
Taylor last. Another corner towards the back stick. Will it stay in? That one is headed from Kieran Mulroney. He had a free header at the back stick.
Not his best work,
and he knows that could be the last chance for the Devonport Strikers. A fantastic ending to this NPL Tasmania season. Knights fans bay for the referee's final whistle. Burden taking his time. Every Knights fan who's come outside the house is now outside. Mulroney, he's won that header. Heaved high by Glover again. Missed by everyone. Dillon should get there in the front position. A hush descends of KG5, a nervous hush. That one's flicked on. They're both offside. He's offside. Oh, that could have been something. Two players running in behind. But again, The Knights faithful. They're just about to break the fence here on the right-hand side. They want to rush so quickly. I don't know how they're going to get on the field if they want to get on.
Kind of surprised that Knights have still survived in this one. They've come through everything. Shots from outside the box, inside the box, headers, big saves, big blocks, corners. They're just getting away with it again. A couple more opportunities for the strikers potentially.
Harrison.
Capellino.
He's nudged off it. This time Bidwell! Oh, that's gone a lot wider than I thought from this angle. Oh, Charles Bidwell.
Yeah, it looks like he caught that beautifully.
He looked like he hit that as true as any hit today, and it's actually gone 20 yards wide. The Knights under 12s getting into blow the whistle chance here, not far away from us. This has been the copra time of all copra times here in this NPL Tasmania decider. It's got an old school air horn. It's not the best free kick, and the Knights have ended up clearing that one. It will go to their advantage. It's going to take him a while to get the ball back. Sturzica into the box. Flicked on, volleyed. Can Ichibura keep it in? That's going to travel pretty quickly on this true surface, but he keeps it in. Gets the cross in towards the back stick. Bidwell. Oh, getting in the way of the two strikers players. Falls towards Satsi, who hits it wide. And that will do it! Glenorchy Knights, your NPL Tasmania champions for 2024. The players rush towards the 18-yard box, celebrating Angus Byrne. Look at James Sherman going straight to the keeper. He wins the double in his final season in charge of Glenorchy Knights. This storied club, Croatian heritage, are back on top in Tasmania.
Oh, I can't really believe it. The strikers threw everything at the Glenorchy Knights throughout this match, and well, their young keeper has carried them through them, I have to say today. A massive performance by Angus Burton in the Glenorchy goal, along with the whole team defensively, but the amount of shots on target that he saved today, and the fact they needed a nil, and they weren't really threatening the other end of the goals at all, but they did what they had to, Glenorchy Knights, and they've come away with the chocolates and done a historic.
And of course, Andrew Cooling, the GOAT himself. My name is Paul Hunt. Alex, you're going to stick around for some presentations, some interviews. That'll be the last of me for this season, no doubt, to the relief of all the anonymous comments online. Thank you for joining us, and we'll leave you with the presentation and some interviews and your good self, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you next season.
I'll pass the camera over that side again. Alright. Okay.
You're right.
So we are going over there.
I'll just find Lucy.
Okay.
Alex.
All right, thanks for that, Paul. Catch you next time.
See you soon.
You know,
No, I'm away. I thought it was going to start. I was
sort of depends on camera, really. I'm more worried about the interviews for me. Yeah, sort of up to you guys. I'll get the mic set up now. I can have 2 mics if needed. Just need one. Okay. All right, I'll put both of them on. Yeah. And then. So who's gonna do the talking? Hey, sorry, excuse me. Are you doing the presentation? Yeah, that's just for the stream. So just so we can hear it on the camera. So you can put it on there, yeah, or you can hold it in front of you, whatever's easier.
It's just as likely to get thrown across the field if I hold onto it.
Yeah, that should be good. It's on. Yeah,
it's on.
Yeah, I'll come grab it when you're done. Or you can just turn off at the bottom there.
Yeah. Okay. Great game. That was just amazing. Well done. Yeah. Well played, Kieran. Do we have a microphone?
That young man, number 1.
Right. Right. Can we just get in a bit because there's no bloody microphone? Well done, James. Up here, boys, please. Come on. Okay, welcome everyone. If you'd like to know what's happening with the renovations, ring the Glenorchy Council, and there's no microphone today as a result. Great game. First, I'd like to acknowledge the people who originally owned this land, the traditional owners, and we play on their grounds today. Well, I'm Bob Gordon, I'm President of Football Tasmania, and it's been a cracker of a game. I think there's been some highlights. I think the Knights goalie was just amazing. I don't know how you made some of those reflex saves. And you really couldn't script it any better than this, coming down to the final game of the season. The two best teams really thumped it out. It was a great game. It was played in the right spirit too. I'd also like to congratulate the refs. I thought Brenton had a really good game today. He kept the game going. And I'd also like to congratulate both James Sherman. I think this is your final game in Tassie, James. Good end on. And also Tom Ballantyne from Devonport Strikers has also had a great season. I'd now like to introduce John Barry Murphy, who's the owner of the McDonald's franchises around Hobart, to make the presentations of the NPL Cup. Right, no one's killed. Of the NPL Cup to the winning team. So I'd like to ask up. We will get the captain up first and you can introduce all the rest of the players. Is that all right, Tyler? We'll get you up first and you can introduce the players.
Just bring them through?
Yeah. Well done, Tyler.
Thank you. Sorry for you that, just for the live stream.
Alright.
It's just so we can hear.
Okay, I'll bring the boys through.
Tyler, you get your medal first and just bring the rest up.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Do you want to say something first? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Firstly, just like to say thanks to Devonport. All season long it's been super close between us two, and we've been on the other side of the fence. We know how it feels. So, thanks, boys, and safe travels home. We'll hopefully have a beer next weekend. As always, the Knights fans, thank you so much for coming today. That 12th man on the pitch, and it means so much to us, boys. So thank you for everyone coming out. And to then, of course, the coaching staff, the players, everyone in the background. It's been a new group this year. We come together and, from pretty early on, everyone bought in. And you can tell it was a pretty special group and can't meet a better bunch of blokes. And, boys, congratulations. Well done. So I'll start with the player of the match for mine. Easily, Gus, come through. Lindsay, up you come. Lindsay. Yes, Rose. Trinity. Riley. Yes, Joe. Burkich. Let's go, Tim. And Redders. Coldo.
Well done, Riley.
Thank you. Mitch, you got your boots? Yes. Steph. Steve Henry. Tommy. Joshua. Happy come, mate. Jack Bubba. Rafi. Marcello. Big hats. Anton, you coming through? Yeah.
Well done, Marcello.
And of course, James Sherman.
Well done.
Cheers, cover.
Well done. And the trophy? Do you want this?
Yes, please.
You lift it up so everyone cheers.
Everywhere. Is this facing there for me now?
Yeah, get it there. Yeah, get it there.
Oh.
Yeah, if that's all right.
No, I've got to do media. I'll do it in a bit. Got all night, Ralph.
I think we want you probably in front of you. So last week, good with the distance? Yeah. Great. Last one.
Yes.
Awesome, I'll get out of the way. I'll stand here. Good to go? All right, James, congratulations. Got the job done in the end. How does it feel to finally win the trophy?
I'm very happy. I couldn't be prouder of the guys over the season. I must say we've had better games today than today. Devonport were very good, and I don't know how we've managed to get away with a point, but we have. Bearing in mind we only needed a point. All the hard work had been done before today, and we'd earned that right, and I think we maxed out our right today, but I don't care.
Yeah, just on that, you did what you had to. Massive defensive performance from your centre-backs and Burden in goals in particular. I thought he made 4 or 5 saves, which you need in a game like this.
Absolutely. Like Angus is 17. He's 17 years old. He's won a cup and a league in his first season of senior football. His first half of the season was excellent, and of course, he's had some moments in the back half of the season, and he has just stuck to his guns in regards to his mentality and his effort at training, and he was rewarded today. Like his composure was fantastic, his positioning was super, and he played like a 27-year-old, and I'm just happy for him.
On the run-in, so it was one of the closest sort of leagues in recent memory, obviously coming down to today. Was that a challenge to coach at all, being so close? You just stuck to your process?
Yeah. Honestly, didn't worry too much about anything else other than what we had to do to try and play well. I don't think we ticked all those boxes today, but it doesn't matter today.
Yeah, you talk about, I guess, setting that up through the last half of the season, that you gave yourself the opportunity to only have to give a point. So that was sort of the key, is just that whole of body, I guess the quality throughout the season was the thing that stuck out to you throughout the year?
Yeah, I think so. We were incredibly consistent. We scored lots of goals. And we came up big in some games there defensively as well. So I think just overall we've done well. Devonport, halfway through the year weren't happy with where they were at, so they go and get 2 new key players in, and their back half of the season's excellent. We couldn't do that. We also wouldn't choose to do that. And that's, football in a sense, but I just couldn't be be happier with the chaps today. Like, as a group, what a heart.
Yeah, absolutely. It must feel amazing to sort of scratch that one out and get the bickies at the end. Personally, I guess you made the decision to sort of seek other opportunities. I guess how does it feel to sort of walk off with a double this year? And I guess, can you speak about sort of what the club's meant to you over this journey, building them up from the championship to now?
Well, I'm happier now that we've won it. I still have a feeling inside. I'm disappointed with how we played.
Okay.
But that's just me, you know. Yeah, look, there's just probably not enough time for me to go into detail what I have in my heart for Glenorchy Knights and what Glenorchy Knights have done for me. It's the kids hopping over the fence. It's the 7-year-olds in tears. Like, yeah, it's just lots anyway. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll explore that another time.
I'll save that for my presentation.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for your time throughout the season, and good luck with everything in future. Cheers. Thanks. I can tell you this is not your favourite thing. I'll try and keep it short and sweet. Tom, thanks so much for joining us today. Really unlucky today. Felt like you created so many chances and just sort of got denied by the goalkeeper in the end. And how does it feel to sort of do enough to create chances but not quite get there today?
Or it feels more disappointing, to be fair. We came here last time and lost 4-0. The same game plan, as I said in the media, Friday, due to varying circumstances, it didn't work. And today we executed it, and if it hadn't been for the young goalie, it would have been a big scorer. You know, he's made 3-4 exceptional saves. We've hit the post, we've hit the bar. What was it? 37 shots on target. What more can it do?
Yeah, pretty stiff feeling, I guess. Throughout the second half of the year, though, you strung some really good results together. And how pleasing is it to sort of make a bit of a change halfway through the year, bringing in a few new players and then being able to get yourself to this position? Because you did say sort of in the media as well earlier that it was a bit more of a free hit for you guys. You can sort of push with more of an aggressive mentality for this match.
Yeah, well, the pressure was on Knights. Obviously, they were the team that were on top of the table. They were probably the rookies' favourites as well, without having looked at it. So, like I said, we treated it that way. We set up that way. We played that way. You know, 36, 37 shots, whatever it was, probably shows that we went out and tried to execute and play the football. They looked nervous today, and it showed in their game. Just, unfortunately, we weren't able to put the work forward.
You've had a successful season overall for yourself personally, obviously with taking the women's role on as well and getting them over the line. How's that been this season, sort of managing both teams?
It's been difficult. Definitely had some challenges. Today would have been nice. It would have been 13 trophies in 3 years that I've won since joining Devonport, but I wasn't able to do it. I feel like I've let everyone down this year on the men's side of the game. I probably didn't learn quickly enough from some of our earlier games. And that's on me. I said it the other day in the media as well. That game's with me, and we didn't get it done. We could have been better finishing, better decisions from goalkeepers at certain times. We could have been the same as last year. We could have been another 15 points clear of everybody, but we didn't. That's on me.
Okay, last one I'll get you out on here. This one, a bit of a change in the guard with a few coaches sort of moving on at the end of this season. What's in store for the future for yourself?
I'm still contracted here. For me, I haven't thought about anything else other than today. Let's get through this weekend.
Fair enough.
I've been in Sydney all week on a course. Flew in this morning on the red eye from Sydney. I'm exhausted. I just can't want to go over.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then I'll make a decision over the distant future. But the meeting I've had with the club have all been positive about next year. I'm looking already at who we're recruiting, so nothing's changing that aspect.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Again, unlucky today. But yeah, good job on getting here, and yeah, just one of those things, I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the season as well. Cheers.